Hi, it's Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I wanted to share my April favorites with you. I realized that I have been wearing a lot more makeup on the regular, and I have a couple of skincare favorites as well. There will be a few fails, so hang tight. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being subscribed. And if you aren't, would you please? All right, I'm gonna start with skincare. The one thing that I realized, I hauled this a while ago, but this is from Missha. This is the Time Revolution, the First Treatment Essence. This is a product that a lot of people say is a great dupe for the SK2, like the essence. What it is basically a yeast ferment essence. And I find that it really helps to brighten and hydrate my skin. And I guess when I'm saying brighten, I'm not like getting like a lot of brightness of my dark spots, but overall my skin is just a little bit glowier. It has just a little bit more of a overall healthy rosy look to it. My skin just looks more alive. Now you can, it looks like I've used a lot of it. A ton of it is in this spray bottle. This spray bottle used to have the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Mist in it. And when I finished that, I kept the spray bottle because it's a pretty nice spray. It's pretty fine. And I will use this straight out of the shower and spray this everywhere. Or at the end of the day after I take my makeup off and I've double cleansed, I'll spray this and just kind of let it sit and soak in. And I find that it's easier to do it this way in a spray bottle. So I decant this into there than it is to just, because it's pretty watery. Normally I would just, like one drop in the hand and it's like water, it just flows, but it's super hydrating and I love this stuff. I used to use it all the time, non-stop. And then somewhere in mid 2019, I ran out of a bottle of it and I forgot to order more. And when I got it again in early to mid-March, using it all of this month and a portion of last month, I've noticed a change in my skin. It's just a little bit more hydrated. It just looks a little glowier. My other skincare fave is this. It's from Beauty Pie. It's their Overnight Skin Perfector 2.0. This is 3% encapsulated retinol. I've been getting really lazy at night. I'll double cleanse. I'll put on an eye cream and then I'll be like, okay, what one thing can I put on that will be hydrating enough and then go to bed? And now that it's not the dead of winter and it's not freezing or below freezing outside, this is enough because this has shea butter in it. It has hyaluronic acid in it. It has a lot of hydrating factors and that retinol. So when I wake up in the morning between this and this, my skin has really looked super refreshed. Like when your kids are little and they wake up from a nap and their cheeks are rosy and they look like perfect. My 13-year-old still, well, both of my kids, but especially my 13-year-old, she wakes up and her cheeks are really rosy and she just looks so like you just want to go, you're so adorable. I feel like this gives me that sort of look. I don't wake up looking pasty with dark circles. And I'm not saying it gets rid of my dark circles. I have more life to my skin. I don't know. That combo together has been really good for me. And I've noticed the Overnight Perfector has kind of kept some of my texture at bay as well, since it is encapsulated retinol. It does a little bit of exfoliating overnight. All right, let's talk. Before we get into makeup, I hauled this during a Sephora VIB, like my 2.0. If you're curious, I will list it for you right here and in the description box below. I love Flowerbomb. I've loved it for 16 years. I wear it every day now. I finally finished up the little tiny travel size that I have. I've had that for a while and I just it gotten thrown to the back of my perfume collection. And I started reaching for scents recently that just bring back good memories. And this is definitely one of those. All right, let's talk makeup. Hello, Fenty. This Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint, I'm not wearing it today. It's the first time in like a week that I haven't been wearing it. This is such an interesting product. It is basically, for me, I use it like a tinted moisturizer, and I find that it works best when I just blend it in with a clean beauty sponge, just kind of like pounce it in. I get a lighter application. If I feel like I need like a little bit more coverage, I'll add another layer, and then I'll blend it in either with my fingers or a foundation brush. I don't know that it's like 1000% blurring for me, but my skin just looks healthy and pretty, and it has just enough pigment to kind of tone down some of the red, to, you know, make my hyperpigmentation spot just a little bit less noticeable. I really love it for that. The one powder that I picked up during the Sephora sale, I'm wearing this today and I love it. This is the Dior Backstage Powder No Powder. I have the lightest shade. I've used it so much that it no longer has like the Dior imprint. You can kind of see it like in the corners, but the rest of it, it's gone. I have been going to town on this. I've only had it for maybe two and a half weeks now. And I love it because you can still see I've got a lot of glow going on, and some of it is from highlight, but a lot of it is that this powder will set my makeup and will keep like a creamy product from kind of collecting in my expression lines here, where I feel like this place on my face is where most of a product will just like, ooh, we're gonna gather there. I love it best all over the face. I do use it under my eyes on the days that I don't want to be extra and pull out like, you know, 3 different powders. If I just wanted like one powder all over. I love it though for the way it makes the rest of my skin look. Not cakey, not powdery, not heavy, just skin. I have been loving a ton of cream products, and speaking of Perfector, I have really been liking this. This is the Cream Contour and Powder Bronzer Duo. I have the lightest shade in She's Statuesque. So I picked this up during the sale. I love that this has like a little plastic window here to make sure that powder doesn't get into the cream. And it's super easy. The bronzer is a little bit warmer. I've kind of just been using the contour the most. On days that I do want like a full glam face, I will use both. But today I'm just using the contour. And I'm not going for something like really heavily sculpted, just a little bit of shade, just like to take down the COVID weight just a little bit. Another one I've fallen hard, head over heels for is this. This is the Denessa Myricks Power Bronzer, and it's just a cream bronzer. I have the shade Light. I love this so much. And if you're curious, let me swatch these guys for you. This is the Denessa Myrick. This is the contour from the Perfector, and this is the bronzer from the Perfector. I feel like I get a completely different look. These guys are just a little bit more neutral. This is definitely warmer, but it blends to like utter perfection. I love this Denessa Myrick, and I feel like it's just an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous bronzer. I've been wearing a lot of cream products. That includes cream blush. I have picked up some new ones. I don't know that I've played with them enough yet, and I don't even know that I got the right shades for me that I'm like, they're my favorites. But the ones that I keep coming back to, I've talked about this one a lot. This is from Beauty Pie. This is their Super Cheek in French Raspberry. It is a beautiful shade, and it tends to go a little bit more, you know, pinky berry, and it's the deepest shade that Beauty Pie makes, but the formula is beautiful. The other one that I've been reaching for a lot, I'm wearing this one today. This is the Milani Cheek Kiss. I have the shade Nude Kiss, and it's just a little bit more peachy. So this is Nude Kiss, and this is the French Raspberry from Beauty Pie. But these two formulas I have been appreciating. I feel like they last really, really well, and they blend super easily, and they don't ever look like it's too much. I picked this up during the sale. Now I know I love this, and I've been using it a lot, so much that I actually already have like a little divot in there. This is the RMS Living Luminizer. It's coconut based, but do you see how it doesn't look like glittery or shimmery? It just looks like glowy skin. And that's my favorite bit about this, is that when I tap it over, I have it on, maybe you can see it right here. I just tap it over the high points of my face, and it doesn't end up accentuating texture because it's just a real light layer. And it looks more like glowy, hydrated skin, almost on the verge of, I hate to say the word sweaty, because sweaty sounds bad, but like a little glow from being outside when it's warm. Not sweaty and gross, but just kind of like dewy and fresh. You get me? I love this. Another product I have been loving, this is more of a liquid than a cream. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Spotlight Beauty Wand. Oh, this is so pretty. I am wearing it today. I like, this is when it's, you know, I haven't blended it out here, but when you start to blend this, it's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. I feel like it's super easy to wear, and I feel like it goes over set skin pretty easily. I feel like this one from RMS can kind of eat through foundation, concealer. That one I use on days when I don't set my skin. But this one I feel like works well over. I love it so much, and I feel like it gives just enough, not too much. Here's the other highlight that I have been wearing almost every day since I got it. I love it so much. Oh, it's beautiful. This is a gorgeous but a massive palette from Denessa Myrick. This is the Lightwork 1 palette. There are 2 versions of this palette. There's a deeper version, but I love this. And I have been living in these 2 shades right here. This white one is called like duh, and the other one is called Common Sense. They're so pretty, but I feel like when you blend them together, you get this really pretty, and it's so much more reflective than the Charlotte Tilbury. The Charlotte Tilbury looks kind of like glowy skin, and this is like highlight. I feel like this is super pretty. I have to be so careful, so careful. So I tend to use like a thinner brush like this, and I don't know that this is a good idea, but just kind of tapping between the 2, knocking any extra off, and just adding a quick little layer of this. I feel like it does bring a elevated, it's much glowier, an elevated glow. I do have to be careful with this because I feel like it can sometimes accentuate if I go overboard. And there are days that I go overboard because I'm like, it's so pretty, I need more. And the next thing I know, I'm out of control. But I love this palette, so happy, and maybe even mildly obsessed. I've been reaching for this duo for my brows a lot. This is the M Cosmetics Fine Liner Brow Pencil. I have the shade Deep Taupe, and then their Micro-Fluff Brow Cream in Universal Taupe. So I have not made it a secret. I tend to love products that are fibers, that have little teeny tiny wands. I feel like this is great because it's the perfect color for my brows. I'm wearing both of these today. I start out by filling in my brows with this, and this is kind of an interesting pencil because if you notice, it kind of, when you turn it sideways, it almost looks like it's like a little razor blade, and I can make the thinnest little hair strokes. And I know that It Cosmetics has a universal taupe pencil that is more like oval shaped. Other ones that are circular, more teardrop or diamond shaped. This is the only one. Are there other ones out there that are kind of like this thin little, I don't know, like a little razor blade shape? Let me know. I really like this. And this walks the line between being creamy enough to leave a mark on your skin, but not so creamy that it starts to kind of goop and kind of collect in the brows, and then you have like an over excess of product. I think that's great. This is great because not only is it tinted, it also has fibers in it. So I will start by back combing my brows, and then I'll just go and lay them down, and it keeps them in place, but it's not such a stiff hold. It's fiber, so I get more brow-like look to my hair as it attaches fibers, and it looks like I have more hair than I have. And it's tinted, so my brows that are lighter, like halfway out, get more color to them. And then on top of that, there's a little bit of a, almost like a waxy pomade feel. Not in a bad way, but just enough to keep them in place. And if halfway through the day, they're not exactly where I left them, I can just take a spoolie and, you know, just kind of brush them back up, and they stay really nicely. Both of these products spoolie beautifully. I think they're some new favorites when it comes to brow products. I have also, oddly enough, it's just a drugstore mascara. There's a lot of good mascaras at the drugstore, but this one from L'Oreal, it's a voluminous mascara, but it's burgundy. And I can't tell you how many times I have reached for this burgundy mascara since I first got it. And I didn't think that it would be like that big of a deal, but I love it. So it's not like a huge, you know, difference. It still kind of looks brown-ish, but it's just different enough, and it's not as like heavy as a black mascara. It gives me a softer look. I have been loving lip liners so much that I've been wearing them sometimes just on their own because I'm finally spending more time outside of the house. And in spending more time outside of the house, I'm spending more time in masks. For the last 14 months, I have basically been home except to go grocery shopping or to pick up my kids from school. And they didn't go back to school until February, so a lot of time at home. So I could wear whatever lipstick I wanted. I could wear gloss, I could wear bullet lipstick, didn't have to be matte, it could, transfer because it wasn't in a mask that often. But now that my husband and I are both vaccinated, I'm going back to shop in stores more. I'm doing less things delivered to the house or doing curbside. I am in and out of a mask. And I find that on days that I'm wearing makeup and I want a lip, the easiest way for me to get a product that I can put on and it's not gonna go everywhere underneath my mask is lip liner. And these are the ones that I have been reaching for. I really do like the M Cosmetics. This is their Soft Blur Velvet Lip Liner. This is the shade Kitten. I love the way that it feels. I feel like it wears really well. And it is kind of more of a nudie brown shade, but it goes with almost any lipstick. I also got a full set of the Wayne Goss lip liners. I love these. So much do I love these. And I will tell you that the formula has been fantastic. The one that I wasn't sure I was gonna like is probably my new favorite. I've been using Mauve since I got it last May all the time. It's kind of like my preferred lip liner, but this one here in Sepia is this kind of, it's definitely darker. It leans a little bit more brown, but what's interesting about it is that even though it leans a little bit more brown, it does have kind of like a slight mauve-y pink tone to it, so it's not completely brown. This one here is definitely more warm brown. This is definitely more neutrally, but a little bit pinky brown. And then this one here is Cinnamon. This is the other Wayne Goss liner. It's the one I'm wearing today, and I love it. I wear it with my favorite, where is it? Where did you go? So this lipstick in Zinnia is a favorite. It's one that I wore at the beginning of quarantine. I think it launched in May last year, so it's almost been out for a year, but I have loved it so much and worn it nonstop. So this paired with this gives me a really beautiful color. But what I love about this lipstick, and I've been reaching for it again, is you can just dab it on really lightly and blend it out, or you can blend it onto your cheeks as cream blush. I love this. There are days that I'm wearing like a little bit of concealer, a little something in the brows, just on my lips, and then I'll just tap my fingers onto my lips and then like, and I've got all the makeup I'm gonna wear for the day. I have been loving this again. Another lipstick that I recently picked up is this one from Gucci. I have been wearing it a lot. This one also looks really great. Here's the Gucci lipstick. It's just a little bit more terracotta-y orange, and it works really well with that cinnamon lip liner from Wayne. But I've been wearing this a lot on its own because even when it's like, it's kind of like a balmy, hydrating, sheer color, you can build it up. Like I have it built up today and over the lip liner, so it has more pigmentation. But I really love the way this feels. It doesn't really feel like heavy lipstick. It's really lightweight on the lips. Love, love. This is Beauty Pie's Wonder Gloss Collagen Lip Oil. As you can see, I have used almost half the tube. I got this 5 weeks ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, and I'm already halfway through it. I did finish up this month. I had another one in a different shade, and I finished it up, and it was the first time in years that I finished a full size lip gloss. It was like, wait, and I realized it wasn't because I was, okay, you put it in your purse, you're gonna use it, this is the only, no, it's just that I was reaching for it because I love the formula. So I picked this shade up in Spicy Pink. I do like this shade a lot. I think it's a really pretty shade. It's almost kind of like a, it's really nice, it's really glossy, but when you put it on your lips, it really looks just like glossy, hydrated lips. Has a sweet smell to it. I really like this, but I feel like it does make my lips look a little bit juicier, a little bit fuller, and I'm sure it's just because it's super shiny, but it also makes my lips feel super moisturized, and it lasts a little bit longer than some other glosses on my lips. It's not sticky, it doesn't collect in the corners and string and pull. It just feels good. And the reason I went through the other one and I bought another one of these is I just realized I like the formula and I reach for it a lot. I picked up 4 palettes from Viseart during their recent 40% off sale. These two came bundled together. It's the Midsummer and the Solstice palette, and I love these so much. They kind of surprised me. First of all, I like that they're in that smaller pan size, but I think what I like the most about these is they each have a duochrome in them. And I was not expecting there to be a duochrome in this palette. It gives a really beautiful option to the look because you have mattes and you have metallics and they all blend beautifully, but then you tap this over the top and you get kind of like that. It brings a level of interest that I wasn't expecting from these guys. And I am super impressed with these. And every time I wear these, I always use the duochrome. I have also really been liking this. This is the Paris Edit. I've been wearing this one a lot. I like the blushy mauve tones, and this is the one I'm wearing today. This is their new one for spring. This is the Paris Love Letter. Oh, I had the one that I'd kind of been worried about. I've worn them all except for the green. I'm like, I'm wearing the green today. I'm gonna do it. And I like that it's just a little bit and not too much, and I don't feel like I've got like overwhelming color on my eye. I really love also that the metallic-y shimmer shades in every single Viseart palette that I own it feels like an elegant, elevated shimmer where it's not so much that it really draws attention to the loss of elasticity that I'm dealing with on my eyelids, the slightly crepey texture that I'm getting like right in through here. I really find that these lay down beautifully and they glimmer and they shimmer and are pretty and they don't call attention to what's going on your eyelid. They don't highlight the negative, they just accentuate the positive. So I really have been wearing almost nothing but these four guys all month long. I did have two fails this month, and they're both the items that I picked up during the Sephora sale. One is this from Atelier Cologne. This is their new fragrance. It's called Lemon Island. And when I smelled it for the first time, I loved the way that it smelled. It kind of reminds me of being on a beach. And the smell, a little bit of suntan, a little bit of salt water, a little bit of just sun in general, like the warmth of your skin when you've been in the sun. That kind of, it's not a sweaty, stinky smell. It's kind of like a warm, I don't know. I love the smell of like my kids. They've been on the beach. They've been slathered in sunscreen. They've been in and out of the water, and they're just kind of sitting there enjoying, playing in the sand or whatever. That's what this kind of reminds me of. And I love that. And I feel like the top notes really bring that scent, but there is something about what is in the rest of this. It gave me an instant headache, which is strange because I have so many of the citrus scents from, I have the Orange Sanguine, I have the California Clementine, I have the Pomelo Paradis. I have a lot of the citrus fragrances from Atelier Cologne and none of them bother me. I have a lot of other ones too. I have the vanilla, I have the Rose Anonyme, I have the Silver Iris, like I've got a lot. And so I was sure that I could just blindly pick up another one that was citrus scented and I'd be fine. It gave me the worst headache. Now, what you may not know is that I've had 5 brain surgeries. I always have a headache. Every hour of the day, every day of the week, every day of the year, I always have a headache. But anything that makes it worse, I can't. And it took me like 3 days to get back to like my normal level of headache after trying this. I was really sad. And not all fragrances give me headaches because I wear this one all the time and it just smells good to me. It doesn't trigger that one extra thing. I don't know what it is about this fragrance, but I'm not going to be able to keep it. I am going to have to send it back. The other thing that has not worked for me, and I've tried it multiple times, is this. This is the Danessa Myricks Color Fix Mattes. I really wanted to love this. This is basically a very extremely pigmented cream product. And I was using like the size of a pinhead, the smallest amount, like a little dot and a little brush, and using it as liner. And it works great above the eye, but where I really wanted it, what I've been looking for, and if you have any suggestions, please, please, please let me know. I am looking for a liner that I can put in my upper waterline that when I blink doesn't transfer to my lower waterline. I want the look of longer lashes, so I want something that's gonna go instead of my upper waterline and you're not gonna see like any of the flesh toned like behind the lashes. I want to get all of that dark, but then when I blink, I don't want it to transfer down to my lower waterline. I have eyes that are a little bit smaller, and when I fill in my lower waterline with dark, it just makes my eyes look smaller. So I want it to one place and then stay. And don't move, Just stay right there. And the other thing is, because this is a beautiful rich brown, it has some red in the formulation, that when it would transfer and just very little bits of it would get kind of thinned out of my lower waterline, it looked kind of like a rusty red, almost like a blood red. And I was like, no, I don't want bloody looking eyes. So this is not working for me for the purpose that I wanted it to work for, but I'm sure it works great if you're using it as a lip color, if you're using it as an eyeshadow, if you're using it as an eyeliner just above the lash line, I'm sure it would work great. But it's not, I'm still looking for that elusive, you know, mythical unicorn of eyeliners. If you know of one, please help your friend out. Other things that I've been loving this month, there is a show on HBO Max that I discovered probably mid-fall, and a new season has recently been released. It's the Great Pottery Throwdown. If you are familiar at all with the Great British Baking Show, it's a similar idea. A bunch of contestants come together. They have, okay, this week, this is what we're doing. You have a set amount of time to make an entire tea set, or to make a bunch of plates, or to make a bathroom sink. And it's so fun to watch them go through the process. The reason that I love it so much, I have spent a ton of time in a ceramic studio. There are platters that we use all the time that I have made, and throwing from like a lump of clay, you know, all the way to the finished product. Teapots that I have made, pitchers that I have made, coffee mugs, like we've got a lot of ceramics in the house. And so watching it with my kids, and I haven't really done anything like that since my kids were born, because I don't have the time. And so they know that I've made these things, but they've never really seen the process, and they are absolutely enthralled. And it's one of those things that all four of us can sit down on the couch and watch together and really, really enjoy. And I love that it's also, everyone's super nice. Nobody's mean, nobody's, you know, highly critical. It's just, it's beautiful. I love it. And they're doing something like they did for the Great British Baking Show last season. Everybody's quarantined so that they don't have to wear masks and they can all be together. And it's the sort of TV that I need right now. It's very peaceful, it's very joyful, and super creative. That's what I've been loving this month. Let me know what your favorites are. It doesn't have to be makeup or skincare. It can be a TV show. It can be an activity you've been doing with family and friends. It could be a hobby that you enjoy. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being subscribed. If you haven't, would you please? And I will see you again soon. Bye.